Going into this next year, I'm gonna tell you something that at first is gonna sound wonderful, and then it's gonna sound bizarre. But please do feel it on all of the different levels that it's given. And I'm gonna tell you this, and you're gonna all gonna shake your heads, nod your heads, and oh yeah, yeah, okay, we'll do it. And then you're not gonna do it, and you're gonna fight it. You're gonna think I wasn't talking to you, but I am. You're going to think I was only talking about some of you, some of the things you do, but I'm talking about everything. And you're going to think that I maybe don't know what I'm talking about, but I do. As we go into this year and henceforth, no more fighting with yourself. That includes the whole broad spectrum of things that you do to make things difficult on you. That includes fighting things like diet and weight, things like your physical appearance. Now you think you have to fight it because you're a foodaholic. You're going to eat a lot of chocolate and you're going to devour cake and potato chips. Don't fight it. No more regulating things like your food for the sake of your physique, for the sake of your body. A lot of you have put yourself in bizarre diets and then justified it and said, no, but the doctor told me I had low God knows what or high something else. You're fighting it. You're fighting yourself. Let down your guard. Oh, no. I have to keep some of those guards up. I have to fight something because I'm inherently a weak person. I'm a sinner. They told me that. So I have to have the fight. I got to work against things. I'm inherently corrupt, and I would just eat my way to death with tuna sandwiches if I didn't control myself. No. The fight is done. The fight is done. Let it go. Oh, I know. It's going to sound good, and then it's going to sound bizarre. It's going to be sweet, and then it's going to be better. Smoking, your arm, all the rest of that. Like, I'm a smoker, and this is bad. No, it's actually not. Doesn't really matter. Oh, I'm sorry, dear Linda, or anybody else who's offended, but it really doesn't matter. A true master, it doesn't matter. A lot of you fight, a lot of you who are smokers, you fight it. I'm doing a bad thing and I'm going to quit someday. No, you're actually probably not. You'll die first.
Duh.
Not so bad. Not so bad. But you like, oh, there's something wrong with me, and you have to go step outside, and you'd be one of the strange, odd people, and then there's something you kind of like about that, being one of the ones who can go outside. And some of you who aren't smokers even want to join the outside people because they're a little bit cooler. And that was Calder who said that. I didn't say that. So you put up a fight within yourself, and I have to control myself, and I need to quit, and it's bad. Stop it. The master does not engage in fighting with themselves anymore. Some of you do things like working out, exercising. You do it because you think you have to. You're fighting something, age, weight, deterioration of the bones and the muscles. Stop it. I'm not saying stop exercising. Stop that fight. You're only giving it energy. It is a part of you from the past that a fear or something incomplete in yourself, and you're only feeding that ghost, that monster. A lot of you think that you have to limit your thoughts, that you can't really express your emotions because you're just going to have rage all over others. So you create this kind of a denial. I have to be a nice person. No, you don't. You don't. You realize nice person is a hypnotic overlay that you've fallen into. I have to be nice. I have to be nice to other people. Well, the funny thing is energetically you're not being nice to them because you can't stand them. But you're trying to act nice, and you're like, namaste. Uh, and but energetically, you're sending out crap to them. I can't stand that self-righteous namaste. So you're trying to act one thing. You're having this fight go on. Let it out. Let that rage out. Now, it sounds very strange because no, we have to be nice people. We're spiritual. No, we're not spiritual anymore, and you never were nice.
Oh.
No, nice is hypnosis. You're not nice people. No, you're not. And I don't want you to be.
Thank you.
Because it's a hypnotic overlay put onto you by others. Nice is actually candy ass. It's
what?
Candy ass.
What does that mean? I'm not sure that translates very well.
That was Calder's word. I didn't use that. Artificial. Nice is artificial. It's not real. There is no nice. There's genuine, there's compassionate, but nice is just this great big sales job. Okay? So no, but nice. You fight things in your life. You fight if you're smart enough. So as you try to be smarter, and you're fighting your stupid, your stupidness. You're fighting that. Well, basically, we're all kind of stupid in a way, and stupid is good. Innocent is good, and you don't think so much. And then you could come out with the real answers, which we'll get to in a minute. Stupid, actually, I like stupid people. Pardon? Like Forrest Gump, thank you. Yes. Innocent would be another word for it. I'm going to ask you to stop the fight within yourself, starting at the stroke of midnight, wherever you happen to be. But stop that fight that you're not good enough, that you've done something wrong, that you need to work on yourself, that you need to make yourself better, that you need to improve yourself, that you have to have a plan. I don't want to see one of you, any one of you, have a New Year's, what do you call them?
Resolution.
Because they never work. You're not resolving anything. And then you think you're even a bigger schmuck than before the resolution. And you got this whole battle going on. Now, what I'm saying here doesn't apply to everybody out there. They would crumble to pieces if they took this advice. But for Schambro, I think you understand. No more fight. And now, you're like, oh, this is going to be really good because I'm really tired of fighting. But the fact is you're not tired enough of fighting quite yet. So there's going to be a tendency to try to hide some fighting in your pockets or in the closet or wherever you hide things from me, which you don't. There's going to be a tendency. It's like, well, I still have to work on my fill in the blank because Adamus doesn't understand my, your incredible weakness, your incredible addiction, your incredible perversions, your incredible everything. Yeah, I understand all of them. But I understand that by fighting them, you're living them. By fighting them, you're living them. When you fight these things, when you battle against yourself, when you have to set goals for a master are like a kryptonite for Superman. Oh, goals. Just why goals? Goals are assuming that there's something wrong with you, that there's something you have to improve. You don't need goals. You need to live. That's all. You just need to live without the fight, without the struggle, life is not a struggle. It really isn't. If you take the essence of life, it's not a struggle. Never was. But there are a lot of things that have made it a struggle. And you've bought into it. You've been seduced into it. You kind of like it. Even though you say you don't like it, you do like it, because otherwise you wouldn't be doing it. No more fight. Not fight in your health. I have a health issue. Stop fighting it. It sounds good at first, but then all of a sudden you're like, but that means I'm allowing it. I'm embracing it, and then it's gonna take over. You're gonna be so surprised at how the fight itself made it real. How the focus, and I'm not saying either to avoid it and pretend you don't have it. I'm saying to actually allow it. It's counterintuitive to allow your addictions, to allow your illnesses, to allow your weaknesses, to allow all those things that you don't like about yourself. It's very, very counterintuitive. You've gotten so used to limiting yourself. Let's say you like pasta. Oh, I can't eat pasta because it makes me fat. Okay, well then it will. Then you got this fight going on, and then it takes out the joy of life. No more fight with yourself. You can fight with other people. It's actually kind of fun. No, it's really fun because you realize that if you really let yourself wide open in a fight with somebody else, let's say you have a relative, brother or sister or somebody that you just have spent years, enduring and putting up with, and you give yourself permission. No more holding back. No more whatsoever. It feels kind of weird because, I would kill them. So what? You know what? They're going to come back anyway. And what happens is once you give yourself that freedom, that permission, all of those warped, perverse thoughts go away. You're not going to do it. But just giving yourself the freedom to say, I'm just going to go and rip them a new one.
A new what?
A new life. I'm going to rip them a new life. What do you think I meant? I'm going to rip them a new life. Giving yourself that permission without fooling yourself, saying, well, I give myself permission, but then I can't do it. No, really, give yourself that permission. Suddenly you put yourself in a different consciousness. Suddenly things become a lot more clear. And suddenly you realize that actually you can make them invisible if you want, but you don't want to. Suddenly you realize I gave them a lot of power over me. I let them steal energy. It wasn't really their fault. It was my fault. I gave them all that power. Now that I realize that I'm not going to hold myself back, I don't have to play that game anymore. We're going to come back to this time and time again, and I'm going to call you on it during the year, but the fight is over. Whatever it is, health, relationships, self-loathing, self-doubt, food, any sort of addictions, and there are no addictions, it's all mental. Any sort of thing that you're struggling against with yourself, including the why haven't I achieved more in my life. I'm going to throw up if I ever see any of you thinking that, because you're looking at yourself through this little microscopic view. You're looking at yourself. You say, why? Other people have achieved more. Other people haven't come to this planet at one of the most beautiful but challenging times to be an embodied master. Is there anything grander? Well, just another degree is gonna be better than that. A little bit more money, a bigger house? I don't think so. So when you get into that fight with yourself about what you've accomplished, let it go. No more fights. Half of this sounds good. Good. No more fights. Half of it is going to be very difficult because you're conditioned to the battle, the struggle. You're conditioned to holding back. You're conditioned to having these demons of doubt in your life, saying no more, stop doing that, you're a bad person, be nice. So it's going to feel very, very uncomfortable.